Okay, thank you, thank you. Right, thank you for being here. Obviously, this is the sort of pre-press conference, just owner's press conference. We weren't going to have an interviewer. I've got a few questions I want to get through, so thank you everyone, obviously, for sending in all these awesome questions. We got a massive pay-per-view coming just 6 days away now. Royal Rumble, 30 men, 30 women. Extremely excited for this. You know, the lineup for the men's Rumble was announced, obviously. We've sort of hidden it now just so people, you know, get a little bit more surprised about where they come at. It adds that little bit more excitement. Obviously, King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring last night, Jazz Shortbridge and Hannah Fox will be facing off in the final. So buzzed about that. Obviously, a lot of people, ears perking up seeing Jazz Shortbridge in the final. They think Jazz is going to do it if she does do it. It's almost ironic. No one's going to be able to go after the championship. It's just insane, really. Obviously, Ado and Jesse Heartache. Quite a surprising final, I'm not going to lie. More on the side of Ado, I would say, is certainly an underdog in this competition. Not someone we expected, but I mean, hey, this guy got rid of Shane Roberts. This guy got rid of Zack Seidel. We have to start paying attention to Ado. There was a reason I signed him over to Mayhem at Season 2, because I knew that the guy came with a lot of qualities, and that's what we've come to see. There's a lot, obviously, that we need to speak about today, that I'm going to try and get through in the short amount of time that I have. So, we're going to look at Freefalling in a second. First thing we're going to talk about is the changes at SCW. Obviously, you may be aware, last night we announced that Kim has moved over to ownership after quite a long stint as a admin. You know, he's been helpful ever since day one, really. He's spoken to me before, personally, you know, about potentially leaving SCW, running his own federation, and look, I think if there's anyone we can be scared of, it's Kim. I'd rather have him on my side than against me, for sure. So a big, you know, conversation with Sears to try and get the right man on board. Obviously, Kim, the right guy for the job. A lot of questions, obviously, about Brex. Brex has been taking some time away, enjoying his life. Nothing to read into there. We will see Brex again. Obviously, we love Brex here at SCW. Very valued member of our community. So, with that being said, Kim will now be GM of Mayhem throughout Season 3. My goal is to focus on the Women's Warfare show, purely because it only had one show, obviously. There were recording issues, editing issues, there were story issues from Superstars. We have put it on pause completely until after Freefalling. I will then become GM of Warfare. I will put my expertise and my experience and my knowledge into Warfare and try and get Warfare on the same level as Mayhem. So by the time we reach Unmistaken, I can sort of back away from Warfare, give Tim Warfare back if he chooses. I can go back to Mayhem for Season 4. So I'm stepping away, like I said in that interview in ring, or sort of not really an interview, a promo. I said that I was going to step away. I'm stepping away. You know, I'm not completely disappearing. I'm going to be running a women's show. We're going to be putting the limelight on the women. They deserve it, for sure. We are going to be having some exciting match cards. I really can't wait to see what's the word I'm looking for? I cannot wait to see what happens. I think that's what I'm trying to say with the women's show. It's going to be very interesting. So that's pretty much all that you guys need to know. Anyone who's not on the Discord, anyone who wants the updates, obviously, that is pretty much where we are at the moment. We can now go and look at Freefalling. So let me grab my notes really quickly. So Freefalling pay-per-view. It's looking insane. We have already got 19 fights. 10 fights on night 1, 9 fights on night 2. Including 2 30-people rumbles. So I would be getting a load of snacks, getting a load of beverages. You're going to be in for a long ride. It's not going to be no short pay-per-view. It's not going to be minutes till midnight where everyone wants to go out New Year's Eve and get smashed up. No, trust me, this is going to be absolutely detailed in every single way. You will feel the impact of every single fight there is. Starting off, obviously, Chloe, Miyu, EK versus Jazz Shawbridge. Like I said, we do apologise, obviously, with the women's brand being temporarily shut down. We haven't really been able to explore that story as much as we like, but make sure you check out Mayhem this Thursday, because we do have Jazz Shawbridge and Jessie Heartache going against Chloe Miyu EK and the Mayhem champion Brian Douglas. Obviously, Heartache and Douglas 1-1 at the moment. Both got a squash on each other, really, so it's going to be a very interesting Mayhem to see who is the better man coming out of that fight, at least. Obviously, Jazz looking to retain. If she does retain, she will successfully retain for 150 days, which is insane. It's genuinely absolutely mental if you think about it, that someone can dominate a field this way for this long, especially in an industry like this where there are so many people trying to get the gold. It's crazy. Josh and Rico, obviously, fight 2. I don't need to sell you that. I really don't need to sell you that. You guys should have watched Josh and Rico throughout Mayhem in Season 2. Obviously, Rico, quite a new guy in here, but the rivalry has been bittersweet to watch. I'm very excited for that one. Expect a blood-filled, high-flying from Rico, at least. Just all-out carnage. It's going to be nuts. Joe Bullingham versus Crow, SCW Cage Championship. Obviously, Joe Bullingham was a little worried. There were some rumours that Crow was departing from the company. We've managed to get him back on board. So SCW Cage Championship Fight 3. We're looking forward to that. Ghost vs DJ Assassin TV Championship. We have Nathan with Trevor alongside him at ringside against Don Atlas in a sort of crash course rivalry. Barangerina, the return obviously happened in Season 2, going for the SCW Cruiserweight Championship against potentially King of the Ring, Ado, so very excited for that. Fight 7 will be the Queen of the Ring final, so Jazz Shawbridge doing double duty in one night. 2 massive fights as well for her, so I really wish her well, obviously going against Hannah Fox, I do believe. Hannah Fox has had a very, very successful reign in the Queen of the Ring tournament. Match 8 will be a Mayhem rivalry. Now, this rivalry has not been set in stone yet. We're going to watch Mayhem, see what happens, and we'll book that fight. So do not worry, although it looks empty at the moment, I promise you it will be a banger nonetheless. Fight 9, the SCW Tag Team Championship, to be announced versus Vengeance. A lot of people have been asking, who is this tag team? Who will be going against them? Why are we keeping it under lock and key? You will find out very, very soon. It's going to be a banger, I promise you, and I think Vengeance are going to be worried about this one. And then obviously the main event, 30-man Royal Rumble. I'm not going to list everybody in it. I really can't be asked. It's going to be a hell of a Rumble though, I promise you that. 30 men. People from Mayhem have fought for their position, so they know whether they're in the top 15 or the bottom 15, sorry. Crash Course. Look, Sears does things a bit different, alright? Whatever. I don't think he has any plans, so it's sort of been a wheel spin sort of positioning for everyone in Crash Course. But yeah, you know, it's going to be a crazy main event. And Facecam, you're going to see Cheese. You're going to see my live reaction to every single spot in that fight. We have the Cheese Facecam, or the Cheese Cam, if you will. So enjoy that. It's the first time that's ever happened on commentary. I was on my own and I had to do it, so I thought, hey, why not just make it a bit more interesting? And yeah, you know, it pays off. Let me know what you guys think of it. Obviously, that is night 1 of Freefalling, and do not panic, though. That's only night 1. We're looking at night 2 straight after, obviously, the 30-woman Royal Rumble. It was 20 originally, now a 30-woman Royal Rumble. Every single woman, really, that you can think of in this brand will be in the Rumble, including, obviously, the women's champion, Jazz Shawbridge. Anyone with their ears perking up, do not fear. Jazz has voluntarily said that she will come out number 1. And still believes, by the way, that she will walk out as your Royal Rumble winner. Fight 2 of the evening, we have Trevor and El Paprika. Quite an interesting bout between these two. I think it was just something that was put together on Crash Course. Obviously, cool to see Trevor back in the ring against a Spice God. Very excited to see how that goes. Harper and Shane had a championship. Shane obviously moved to Crash Course sort of in the middle of the last season, trying to bump up the views over at Crash Course, and I think it definitely helped bringing Shane and El Paprika over there for sure. I mean, Mayhem did really have the stars, if you will, just before that happened. So yeah, massive fight between Harper and Shane. Really would be cool to see Harper get a championship, but obviously, you know, Shane's my son, so I would love to see Shane retain at the same time. Fight 4, Mayhem Rivalry, Hell in a Cell, Almir versus Gus. I mean, how is this not a main event? It's going to be absolutely crazy. I'm so buzzed for it. I don't need to sell you this fight. I really do not need to sell anybody this fight. It's been going on throughout the entire of Season 2, I'm pretty sure. They have been hating each other. F5 through the table. Almir jumping Gus, making, the wave really for Jay O'Grady to come and cash in. There is so much between these two at the moment. 22nd of January, do not miss it. Fight 4 of 9. Tony versus Scorpio, obviously in the women's gladiator title. The title designed recently, one of the nicest titles I've seen. And hey, I designed it myself, so of course I'm going to say that. But yeah, women's gladiator title, mid-card title, it's really needed. Tony Rose, Scorpio Red, both great in their field of work. Who will come up on top? That was obviously the question. Fight 6, rivalry, Alex Storm, Nolan Wright. We've seen this before. It obviously was the fight that took Nolan away from Mayhem after a sort of I Quit Mayhem match. Alex Storm picked up a W in that particular matchup for the Mayhem Championship. Nolan Wright has certainly not been quiet. He hasn't put his head in the sand. He's been making noise over at Crash Course. He's ready to come back to Mayhem. And what a way to get it started, Alex Storm versus Nolan Wright. Fight 7 of 9 obviously will be the King of the Ring final. Jesse Hartache versus Ado. Honestly, I have no idea who's going to pick up the W in that one. Both deserved. Very excited for it. Fight 8 of 9 then just before the main event. Jamie Storm obviously going against Jake Brex for the Interstar Championship. Like we knew it was going to be maybe Josh versus Jamie, but Rico interrupted the fight, which cancelled the fight. We're not going to screw Jamie Storm over. The guy's been working so hard this season. So Jamie Storm, Jake Brex, Interstar Championship. Will someone be able to take this championship off Rex? We will find out. Which leads us, ladies and gentlemen, to the main event. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, of course, the main event. SCW World Heavyweight Championship, Jet Saturn, Jay O'Grady. Is Jay O'Grady champion? No one knows. He did walk out of the company. It was vacated. It's something that we're going to have a conversation with me and Jay. Don't really see eye to eye at the moment. So it's a tricky conversation to have, of course, but nonetheless, they will be going against each other for the SCW World Heavyweight Championship. It's going to be one of the greatest events I think we've ever held. Freefalling 2 nights. We're so excited for it, obviously, just after as well, and Now or Never will hit I think it's just 2 weeks after Freefalling, and then we have the Casino pay-per-view raising the stakes at the end of February, so it's going to be an absolute, I don't even know the word, this season, the upcoming season will be potentially the best season yet. Although I'm not running Mayhem, I still believe it could potentially be the best season yet. Now, there will be a press conference with some wrestlers, I believe Sears as well, maybe joining in, Goal, a couple people, hopefully Jazz Shawbridge and Chloe Miyu, EK. So we will have a date for that. It will probably be just before Mayhem, a couple days before the pay-per-view. But I think we've covered everything really, obviously. Very excited to see what happens on Saturday and Sunday. 2 massive rumbles. Make sure you tune in, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and when you're down there, hit that notification bell, because you're gonna miss things if you don't. You don't want to miss things. Every single day there is action here at SCW, so make sure you smash that subscribe button and stay tuned, because on Saturday and Sunday we will be bringing you the biggest rumble you've ever seen on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here, and I will catch you potentially before Thursday if we do the press conference, but if not, I will see you at Mayhem on Thursday. Thank you.